Welcome to that video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Chess Merchant, as always, using a really interesting build where we're going to down survivors and make them exposed by using Hex Plaything. We're going to make survivors oblivious. Every time we hook a survivor, a dual totem lights up and that survivor becomes oblivious until they cleanse that totem. We are going to be using Scorch of Pain Resonance. You know what this perk does, I don't gotta explain it. We're going to use Hex Survivor Hope, where every time we hook a survivor and then they get unhooked and we're 20 per minute away from the hook, we receive a token. At 2 tokens, we gain 5% haste status effect after we hook a survivor for 10 seconds. We gain, and at 3 tokens, we're going to make so every survivor is exposed, and at 5 tokens, we can Mori every survivor. We also have Trail Tournament, where we're going to kick a gen and become undetectable forever as long as that generator is not regressing. But once that generator starts regressing, we no longer have undetectable status effect. But we're going to use that combination of adaptive lighting to make ourselves even undetectable even longer, and brown noise generator to make survivors oblivious. So this entire build is basically going to make survivors oblivious and also going to make us undetectable. So the survivors have no idea where we're coming from, and then we're going to have 3 survivor hope stacks, and we're going to be able to Mori or down every single survivor through the entire game. Looking for the games can show how great this build is. Okay, playing on the Groaning Storehouse. I don't really hate this map at all, actually. I love most of the Macmillan Estate maps, if I'm being completely honest. The only map I kind of don't like is Ironworks and Misery. And I don't even hate that one, it is kind of interesting. But let's get started with the build. So first, we're going to find our totem, and we found it immediately. After finding our totem, we are going to basically just protect that totem the entire game by continuously activating that drone, because unlike other killers in Dead by Daylight, Scorch Merchant actually has the ability to protect her drones, to protect totems much better than other killers do. Because you can basically just put a drone on a totem, and the survivors have to get rid of the drone in order to get rid of the totem. Because if they try and do the drone, I'm going to make them oblivious, and then they don't know where I'm coming from, and they're not going to be able to ever, do the totem. This person's knocking about the window for some reason, so I'm going to be able to catch him. And then he goes this way for some reason, I mind gamed him. So as a result, we're going to get quick down, and actually, we're going to get our first, hopefully, stack of Hex Survivor Hope, and also we are going to make him oblivious thanks to Hex Plaything. Now that Hex Plaything is activated, that person's going to be oblivious once they get unhooked, and we can hopefully sneak up on them with our Hex Survivor Hope stacks. So I'm going to chase this person, but first I decide to not chase him near the hook, because I realize if I do that, I will lose my Survivor Hope stack. But at the same time, because he decided to not hit the guy off the hook, even though clearly he had enough time to trade, he chose not to do it. I was able to chase him, and I don't know how I hit that, because these window vaults have been really good lately, thanks to the new palette and the new buff. So because of that reason, I'm surprised I hit that, honestly, but I did. I'm gonna kick this gen and make it undetectable, and luckily I was far enough away where I got 1 stack of Devour Hope. This girl's gonna try and rescue, but the problem is I'm undetectable. She doesn't know where I'm coming from. So now I'm gonna hook this boy on the hook. Sadly, someone already regressed my gen, so I'm like, okay. And that's the reason why I don't use Throwing Tremors, because Trail Tournament, because Trail Tournament can be kind of hard to use sometimes, because they can just do that. Now I have to wait 45 seconds before I can reactivate my drone. Before I can get the perk back at me. Luckily, someone has a claw trap on them, so I know that they're here. I can hear it. I don't know how I hit that, honestly, but I swung because I realized it was better to swing than not to swing. I believe she had the perk Overcome, because she got a lot of distance. Now, I know if she tries to mind game this pallet, it'll break it because of the claw trap. So she's smart and realizes that's not what she wants to do. So I'm going to go over here, put a drone on this generator while I'm chasing the survivor. I love the fact that you can do that. This is actually more of a chase build than it is a gen protection build. But basically, we're going to keep activating that drone across the map, as you can see. And the second I hear someone in that drone radius, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to stop them from doing it. Because that's really important. We have to protect our Hex or our Hope no matter what. Also, because they're oblivious, a lot of times they're going to end up doing the wrong totem and not even knowing I have Hex or our Hope. Or they're never going to even do the Hex or our Hope totem. at all. But I really need to get one more down, because if I get one more down, I can get a third stack of Hex or I hope. Now, sadly, this guy's running towards the totem, so I'm trying my best to make sure he doesn't go over there. And then I realized that I believe he had the perk. I can't remember what the perk is, but it's a perk where you get unhooked, and after 30 seconds, you get fully healed automatically. I think that's what happened. Or he had a med kit and he just healed himself using that. But either way, we finally get it down. And I can see there's a Hex totem right there, so someone probably thinks that's a Devour Hope totem, but in reality, it's actually a Hex plaything totem. So I'm going to hook this girl right here, and she just decides to stop trying to wiggle for some reason. We're going to activate our, what's it called? Pain Resonance again. So we only have 2 stacks left, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to kick this Jin, and now I'm undetectable. And I move 2% faster because I'm of the Devour Hope. Now all I have to do is find a survivor and try and down them. They don't know where I'm coming from. I have no more red stain and I have no more tear radius. Of course they have eyes so they can see where I'm coming from. Now they're not going to drop this pallet because they think that I'm just a normal in-1 killer, but in reality, I'm going to actually down them instantly once I hit them. She's going to drop this pallet though because she realized that now it's a good idea to drop it. I don't want to get hit. I am going to continuously, what's it called? I'm going to still loop it though because I know that even though this is probably a bad idea, I can try and mind game. I probably should have brought this pallet by now, honestly, but I just decided not to. For some reason, she decides to vault now when I turn around. But now that I did that, they know that I have Devour Hope. And they're going to try their hardest to, of course, cleanse that and get rid of that if possible. But I'm going to have to keep reactivating that drone in the corner until I am at a comfortable position where I'm fine with them deactivating it and destroying it. If I can get like one person dead, then I'm fine with it. But if I can't, then it's bad. So I look, and this girl runs in front of me, and I'm like, why? And then it hit me, oh wait, I forgot I have Hex plaything, so she's just oblivious, doesn't know where I'm coming from. I'm gonna wait so I can make sure I kick this Jin and activate Trail Torment. Make sure you always check your Trail Torment, what's it called? Cooldown, so you can make sure that you kick it fast enough. Someone's on my drone, I'm like, no. I'm on my totem, I'm like, no ma'am, stop that. And I got a 4th stat, but the only problem is, I'm pretty sure Feynman's dead on hook. Oh no, he's almost dead on hook. My problem is now I have no drone right here because I know that basically they're going to cleanse that totem while I am hooking this person. And because I have no drone, I cannot put a drone over there because there's a person hooked. There's no way I'm gonna be able to protect the totem now. That's the only thing that's bad about this. But as you can see, the build is working out perfectly. Look how many hooks we have on the left side, and the girl killed herself on the hook. Like basically, oblivious means they don't know. I can't hear my terror radius. But now the Devour Hope is making them die instantly. But I know I saw a scratch mark. I think I did. So I'm pretty sure they're on that totem, which worries me. So hopefully we can get off the totem. But luckily there's no on the totem. They're inside the locker instead. But I knew I saw some scratch marks. So I was like, I know I saw a scratch mark. So what are you doing? But he went in the totem. He went in the locker because he was scared. I missed right there because this is auto aim. I hate the auto aim in this game sometimes. Like sometimes the game will auto aim, so it will hit the. So the hit looks good, but then it ends up missing. This guy's gonna go in the corner like a smart survivor actually, because he knows that these last 2 hooks are both gone. So now I have to waddle all my way to this hook over here, and I have to pray I get there. Now I go to my drone radius for half a second because when you go to your drone radius, you do get a speed boost, but if a survivor's in your drone. So because I'm carrying a survivor, I technically get a speed boost, and because of that speed boost, I was able to make this hook and hook this person. And this game went by so fast. This person, all I had to do now was down the last survivor, and I win. And look how fast this game was. Normally my score merging games take a long time, but this game was insanely fast. And that's exactly why this video is so long. I have 3 games for y'all today. Normally I only post like 1, and I've been recently posting 2 games, but I've been posting, today's the 3rd game, because this build was working really well for me. So I wanted to continuously make videos on it. And I think it's a good build in general. Because like I said, the power to make survivors oblivious and to make yourself untouchable is really strong. But also it's the fact that this perk combination and also Score Merchant in general, Score Merchant has a really easy way of protecting her totems. So that's why I think it's really good. This person ran in front of me again because of them being oblivious, they can't hear her radius. So she's dead on hook. And notice how we hooked every single survivor 3 times, besides like 2 of them because she killed herself on the hook. But we basically hooked every survivor. We didn't tunnel 1 time, we just won. And that's how you play Score Merchant. You do tunnel, just gotta use a really cool strategy and win. But that was a really fun and kind of easy game. I had a lot of fun playing this really interesting build. Let's go towards the next game, so hopefully we get some more Moris and even more Infidel, so I can show y'all even better strategy on how to use Store Merchant. Okay, on the Sanctum of Wrath. I love this map so much. And of course, by right into a generator, so you know exactly what I'm gonna do. Drone up, and then we're gonna go to the main building and put a drone up there. So first, locate our totem like always. We see a survivor down there immediately. Now the reason why I didn't go after him is I was afraid that my totem would have been spotted by a survivor and they would have done it immediately, because sometimes when I use Hex Survivor Hope, that is exactly what happens. My totem gets spotted immediately. This is a terrible totem spot, but there's a strategy you can do, which I recommend doing every time you play Score Merchant and it's a totem. Place this, place your drone literally right next to the totem, because even if the drone goes in standby mode and you're not able to activate it, because of how the the little yellow beams work, the drone will still automatically detect survivors that are inside that go towards it, because they can't do the totem without the drone automatically activating. So this girl is in my drone already, and she immediately gets rid of my trail tournament, sadly, but it's fine, because that's why I use advanced move prediction in this build, because when you use advanced move prediction in the second game, by the way, the first game we used adaptive lighting, which made it so that way we could be untouchable longer. But I decided to change it for advanced move prediction, because I realized that if I use advanced move prediction, I can see the aura of survivors when they go inside my drone radius. So if they do decide to go towards my totem, I can see exactly where they are. So of course we're gonna re-animate that drone over and over again, so we can make sure that we know that there is no one actually on the totem. Someone exposed, and I'm like, what are you doing? So she's gonna heal herself right here in the middle of nowhere, but the problem is she's oblivious, so she doesn't realize I'm coming until the last second, and then I missed my hit because I'm mad. I'm thinking she's gonna go down here, but she's like, you know what, I give up, I'm done. And she decided to just stop playing and let me hook her on the Score Trick. So we're gonna activate a Score Trick Pain Resonance automatically, and also we now have one stack of hopefully Devour Hope and they're oblivious thanks to the Hex play thing. So I need to get out of here, but I decided to activate this drone. I was gonna activate the one on the totem or on the gen, but then I realized no, I can just go over here and place this instead of having to reactivate it. And that's the reason why this build is so good. Like, you just protect the totem if you can, and hopefully we can get 3 stacks. I was waiting for someone to rescue her because I didn't want to go across the entire map again. So I was like, I know someone's going to rescue her, so I'm going to go after the person who rescued her instead of going after her. I love when people body block for their teammates, thinking I'm going to go after the teammates, but in reality I'm going to go after them. It's just so funny, because basically it's like, they can give me a free hit. Now I can continue chasing you, so I'm not going to go after that girl. But the only reason why I'll go after that girl now is that she just has to go towards my totem, where it looks like she's running in that direction. So I need to make sure, I check my radar just to make sure she's not active on my totem. This guy is going to try to loop this way, but I'm going to try and get him. Thanks to advanced move prediction, we can see where he is, of course. I don't want to hook him on that hook, because I know that hook is close to my totem. But hopefully, they don't go after the totem when I hook him there. So I'm gonna kick this gen, so we can activate Trail Tournament again. The only thing bad about kicking gens is gens regress so slowly, where basically it's really bad. Like, well, so slowly, I mean, like, you don't use Call of Brine, the generator doesn't regress slowly. The only good thing about the generator regressing slowly, though, in this situation is the fact that because it regresses slowly, I'll have Trail Tournament value. So I'm gonna pick up this girl, but first I need to check to make sure they're on my drone, on my totem. So I'm gonna go straight over here. I'm untouchable, they don't know where I'm coming from. Luckily, there is no one on this totem, so I'm going to put a drone on there to protect it, and then sadly someone does regress that gen. So now not regress that gen, someone does tap that gen, so now the gen's not regressing anymore, so I lose my Trail Tournament again. But it is an endless cycle of Trail Tournament and of using Trail Tournament. I love Trail Tournament, by the way. I think it's a really good buff perk. I'm glad I'm able to showcase Trail Tournament more than one time in a video, because in case you don't know, I'm doing a series where basically I am using all the early buff perks that came out, and Trail Tournament got buffed, and it was the first one I actually used, I believe. But because I knew it got buffed, I was going to try and use it And now I've been using it a little more often because it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to try and get this girl exposed, but sadly, she doesn't get exposed. But then I remembered, wait, I'm using Devour Hope. So of course I'm going to down her, and she has Bowl over. Hate this bird. But it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be able to down her quickly. And there's no way she's going to be able to, go anywhere because I'm able to instant down her. Kick this gen again, activate Trail of Torment another time. And now they have to rescue her and they have to do Trail of Torment. This girl runs straight in front of me because she doesn't hit my tear radius. So it's a free down for me. And now you see the strength of this build. Like, we have 3 stacks of our hope. Better get a 4th one once they unhook Claudette. We have this girl dead on hook once we hook her another time. Go back to Claudette because I know they're about to touch that generator and make sure it's not regressing anymore. Which does kind of annoy me because it's gonna get rid of my Trail of Torment, but for some reason they don't touch that generator. Now sadly this boy is like, oh, yeah, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna drop this pallet immediately. I have no red stain, so in my head I feel like it should be really hard for him to be able to find where I am. But sadly he's actually super observant and he knows exactly when I'm trying to go after him, so he runs away. Now I'm gonna be with this drone because I'll make sure they don't go on that totem. But I realized I probably kick this pallet down because there's a chance that he could just immediately he could immediately just keep vaulting that over again. But luckily for me, I have 5 stacks of Devour Hope now, so I got rid of the totem because I realized, wait, I'm gonna get rid of this totem so I can reactivate it. This boy runs into me again, but sadly there's a pallet right here, and then he just, I don't know how he got there so fast, but I missed him because I hit the rock, and then he jumped the pallet on me. Now, you might be saying, why don't you try and down him, Mori him? That's because of the fact that if I Mori him, then there's a chance someone could be doing that totem, and I'm not letting them do that totem. So I hear someone in the last second, and I realize, wait, you're dead. And because I have a Mori, and then also I realized that the reason why the Leon was doing so well, by the way, was because he is a bot, so he easily could have vaulted the pallet. But look at this, beautiful. We love to see it. I love Scroll Merchant so much. I rarely get to see Scroll Merchant's Mori because I don't really use Moris and I don't really use Devour Hope that much. And when I do use Devour Hope, it always gets cleansed. But this Leon is too good because he's a bot. I didn't realize that until after I killed that girl. Leon's a bot, and basically bots will, the moment they see you, will vault a pallet. They don't even use common sense. So because of that reason, I can't try and mind game a robot. So I'm not gonna try. And so I'm gonna kick this gen. And now we have Trail of Torment again. So now we're gonna try and find another unlucky victim who wants to get worried. So basically we're gonna try and look around the entire map, find someone, we're untouchable, no one knows where we are. All they can really do is try and see us. I want to keep looking at that drone because I know I need to reactivate it. But I need to find someone to Mori because then I can have 2 people dead immediately. But I'm looking around, I see a crow go up, so I know someone's here. And that's when I see Claudette, and I'm like, oh. And I get stuck. And Claudette doesn't even realize I'm here. And then at the last second, I hit her. And then the second I hit her, someone else my drone. I'm like, well, I'm out. I need to Mori you fast. So I was gonna go after them, then I realized there was no time. So instead, I'm like, well, Mori, Claudette. And then I missed, and I'm like, oh no, hurt, please. We go to the rock because apparently Scroll Merchant doesn't care about physics. And we murder everyone. Another rock. The only problem with this Mori is the fact that is it the best looking one? I like the Mori actually a lot, so I have fun using it, but it's not the best looking Mori. That's the first problem with it. And the second problem with it is the fact that it does have this, you basically need a really open field to see the full Mori because there's a lot of cameras going on. I kind of hope they change her Mori actually because I like it a lot. Like I love the part where she comes out of nowhere, like she's stealthy and no one knew she was there. I love the part where she stabs, like kills them. I just kind of wish that the kill was more satisfying. I really wish the drone did something more. The drone kind of just scans them, but then at the last second he's like, kill you. But I kind of wish the drone did a little bit more. But other than that, I like the Mori a lot, and I find it really fun to use this perk combination. Also because of the fact that I still have Trail of Torment on me, and they don't know where I'm coming from. That girl got surprised, they're probably looking around like constantly. It's kind of weird though, because Child Torment, the generator turns yellow, so you can easily tell which gen you need to start regressing. But the survivors just don't do it. So I'm trying to swing through here anyway. And luckily for me, I hit her because honestly, I thought I was gonna get stunned, but I did not get stunned. And we were able to down this person, and now we have to do, all I have to do now is find the bot, which I'm pretty sure is randomly on the edge of the map somewhere, because normally some reason one of the bots like to just sit on the edge of the map. I literally watched a video where the bot went towards a gen, started working on the gen, ran towards the edge of the map to hide behind a tree, went back towards the gen, didn't work on it, then proceeded to go back to the corner and then go back to the gen. So, and then work on it. So basically, like for 30 seconds, nothing was getting done, and that's funny. But it is more important, in my opinion, for a bot to be there than for a bot to not be there. I think they definitely should have added the bot system, which I'm glad they did. But sadly, the person dies on the hook because he realizes the bot, and there's no way the bot's gonna save her life. So he's running towards me, but because he has eyes, even though I am untouchable, he knows exactly what to do. And instead of running toward a pallet or anything, I don't know why, but the bot decides to run in the middle of nowhere, next to where my totem was just at. Then instead of running to a loop, he runs again to the middle of nowhere. So I'm like, okay. And that's a quick down for me, because Leon was like, I'm not fighting against a score merchant, I'm out. And that's why we have a... But like usual, I always win with this build, because this build is so... Well, not always win with this build is so good. And I have a lot of fun using it. So that was the game. So now we go on to the last game, because we all know that this Leon is dead on hook. And hopefully I can find the hacks before we go to the next game. But the chance of that happening is 2%. So Leon dies on the hook and the game is over. But let's go to the last game, like I said, because the last game is pretty special and kind of weird. But you'll see what happens when we get to the game. Oh, we found the hatch, and I closed it. Even though it looked like I didn't close it, but I definitely closed it. I got the points for it, so I know I closed it. Okay, last game of the video on Torment Creep. This map is dumb. I hate this map. This map is really big, and also almost all the Coleman Farm maps are just stupid. I love this map design, because I believe it's like a giant zeppelin, I believe that is, or maybe I'm stupid. But it's something. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what this is thing, but I'm pretty sure it's a zeppelin. But the only problem with this map is humongous, which makes it really hard to actually win with Score Merchant. But like usual, we go towards our our totem, and we're going to immediately put a drone on that, break this wall, because the wall is in my way. But like usual, I have to show y'all the cheap, not really cheap, but the cool strategy of placing a totem, drone inside of the basement. This girl is gonna go get rid of my drone. So now I'm worried, because they already found my totem, and I'm like, well, this is not good. I'm going to hit this girl, and she's going to do some reason why I drop this pallet. I'm like, okay. But then the problem with that is she has a claw trap on her now, because she decided to stay with my drone. Knowing she has a claw trap on her, she's probably not going to vault that pallet. But then she vaults it, and I swing for some reason. I don't know why I swung, honestly, because like I could have just waited for her to drop the pallet. But I swung anyway. So I'll put a drone right here. But this girl can tell that I have a totem right there, and I'm kind of mad. Sadly for me, this guy has a flashlight, but luckily for me, he's bad. So because of that reason, I'm able to immediately, I'm able to dodge the flashlight. Now he's gonna save this girl. I'm trying to go towards the gen and kick it because I don't care about the girl. But I'm gonna kick this gen, and we're gonna have Chill Torment, and now this girl's gonna get saved. I'm like, what? So this girl's gonna save this other girl. Chill Torment's gonna activate. I know someone's gonna immediately kick that gen, because honestly, they're gonna immediately touch that gen and make it regress again. But I don't really care. This girl's gonna loop this annoying window over and over and over again. But now he's exposed, but it doesn't really matter because I'm using a bad move prediction. Sadly, I was unable to hit her, so I'm like, why am I even trying to loop this girl? Like, this is dumb. Now she's gonna go over here. The pallet is broken, so she's not broken. The loop is blocked. She can't actually do it anymore. But there's another loop, and I'm like, huh? So annoying. But luckily for me, she does not get her fast enough. But I believe she has made for this, or maybe she just fast. I don't know. There's no way she has balance landing, I pray. She does not. So we down her before she can do anything. Now I'm gonna pick up this girl. I'm praying that no one dropped a pallet on me. And luckily for me, no one dropped the pallet. Now, if you look, I'm purposely hooking them away from the totem because I don't want them to do the hex totem. Now, sadly, we already hooked one person, but they got rescued right next to me. So because of that reason, I did not even get time to get a what's it called, a token for my Devour Hope. Now, also sadly, there's a problem. The problem we have is the Jeff most definitely has distortion, and they are doing these gens extremely fast because the map is so big that it's kind of hard to actually do much. I'm gonna put a drone right here, and I'm gonna wait because I have a strange feeling that someone's gonna try and go back to this gen, and I was correct. This girl is going to go towards the gen. I'm like, no, you don't. So I'm going to hit her. Now I'm gonna go in this TL loop, and I know she's going to vault the window. Now, sadly, she has live, so I'm like, well, I'm screwed. So I'm gonna go. Every time I hear someone get located with my drone, I look to the left just to make sure it's not the totem. But I realized now that it's actually the generator that I just kicked that made me oblivious. This guy's gonna try and flashlight me for some reason. This girl's gonna go on this really unsafe pallet, so I know I'm gonna have to mind game this. Sadly, she hits me. Well, I hit her, but then she stuns me, so I'm like, okay. But then she's gonna try and do this unsafe pallet again, like I'm not gonna hit her. And I know right here there's nowhere she can go, so I'm gonna swing the pallet, miss, because I'm bad. But then I see someone exposed, and I'm like, well, I don't know where they are. Hopefully, it's not my totem. And they're on the gen, so I don't have to worry about anything. This guy's gonna try and flashlight me through the wall, because apparently flashes can go through walls. They can't do that. Luckily, the scourge hook activated, and now that generator that was just on, what's it called, became regressed even more. Someone just vaulted this window, so I thought they vaulted this direction, but then they vaulted that direction. So now I'm like, huh. This girl is still on that gen, and she's exposed and oblivious. The only reason I didn't go after her immediately was because I didn't really care. But then she starts running, and I'm like, why are you running now? I'm confused. So it hit me like either she just knows I'm coming and they're our friends, or she just randomly ran for absolutely no reason. She's gonna go in the, I don't know why, but she starts teabagging and goes towards the edge of the map. Like I'm not gonna find her. So I know there's hooks over here because I haven't been over here. I haven't hooked anyone over here. No one died yet. So I know there's hooks over here. Hook this girl. And it's the first time I'm hooking Jin Lee. I love you, Jin Lee. The fact I'm hooking her is kind of sad. But, you know, I have to kill everyone. That's how you play Score Merchant. You murder everyone you see. So because of that reason, we're going to go back over here towards this gen, kick it again so we can activate Trail Torment, and also get him off this gen. We're going to make sure no one's over here first. Kick this gen drone up. And we're going to also make sure that we activate the totem drone because we need to make sure that it's always on. I need to wait for them to unhook her so I can get a third stack of Hex Devour Hope. So I'm gonna wait, and then this guy's right here. I'm like, please unhook the girl. They unhook her, so now I'm finally able to what's it called, chase this guy. But this pallet right here is really, really strong, and he's not going to he's gonna sit there. So I'm gonna wait because I realize that if I hit him at the right time, I can get a Devour Hope stack. Devour Hope hit. Now he's got this window. I know he's not gonna vault the window because he wouldn't do that. And Devour Hope is gonna activate, and he's down. So now I'm gonna reactivate this drone, make sure it's always on. Like you saw in the last two games, we have to make sure that our drones are activated so we can protect our totem. And we're gonna hook this person. Sadly, we're kind of bad position because even though we are undetectable and they've only completed 2 gens, and also we have Devour Hope, it's the fact that they have already completed 2 gens. And if I mess up at any point in the game, I will go back to I'll probably lose. So this girl is gonna definitely go towards the pallet now because she realizes that she has to go towards the pallet, because if she doesn't go towards the pallet, she will get instant down. Luckily for me, the pallet over here is so far away where I can hit her, and the Devour Hope will help me. So now we're going to pick up this girl. They should unhook him very shortly, and then I'm going to get another stack of Devour Hope, which I did. Then we have 4. All we have to do is protect our drone, our totem, and then we can have 5, and we can start mooring people, which is fun. But sadly for me, everyone who I hooked, I believe I hooked every single person besides Kate. So they're all oblivious besides Kate, and I have to get her hooked too. But the problem is I'm worried about my totem. Now luckily this guy's oblivious and he doesn't know where I'm coming from. I did lose my Trail Tournament, which is why I'm not untouchable anymore. But I was really having trouble catching this Jeff because I believe he had made for this, or he did really good, I don't know. But his looping skills are pretty good. And he's oblivious. The fact that he can't hear my terror radius and he still is able to easily loop me is kind of annoying. So I see this girl. I saw Jeff right there, but I went after the girl because I realized like I have Devour Hope. Might as well go after the girl who saw my totem. So he's oblivious. He doesn't know where I'm coming from. So I gotta try and find her. I know she's here somewhere. So I'm like, where are you at? I know I saw you. I saw Crow go up over here, so I know someone's over here. I see scratch marks. So where are you? You're not in the main building because you're not in this building because of the fact that my drone didn't pick you up. So instead, what I do is I just had to do a really smart play. We're going to activate this drone because I know they're going to activate that drone. I know they're going to go over there and try and do the totem because they know for sure that is the totem that has, what's it called? The Devour Hope. So I want to kick this gen and I'm going to be untouchable again. They're going to be the faraway gens, but it's fine by me. I see scratch marks, so I know no one's near my totem. Kate is like, I'm gonna go over here and try and get you far away from the totem. Because I know that I'm looking always to make sure my totem is good. But then I look and I realize that I don't see Kate anymore, like where you at? So Kate goes towards the main building. Luckily for me, she doesn't drop the pallet, so I actually can probably catch her. But I know she's gonna drop this pallet, because why wouldn't you? So because of that reason, I'm prepared mentally, so I'm gonna wait for her to drop the pallet. She don't flashlight me, which is fine, but I'm feeling she don't go to the window, but she doesn't go to the window actually. So because of that reason, I'm able to chase her, and as long as she can't get towards this pallet, we're good. But sadly, someone's like, I'm doing this drone. I'm tired of Devour Hope. I'm not doing this anymore. So I'm like, no. So of course, I need to check my radar just to make sure that she actually is on my Devour Hope. But I'm gonna look first. Can you check the radar? I'm pretty sure if you check the radar, the survivors can know that you're checking the radar, and will see it. This girl's like, well, I'm screwed, and she's gonna run towards the corner again. And Devour Hope is like, no. Then the second I'm about to go over there, I'm like, okay, no. Then Jeff's like, I'm doing the totem because I'm not dealing with Devour Hope. But I thought Jeff would get out the totem, so I know I don't have to worry about that anymore. So I'm gonna pick up this girl once I found where she was, and we're gonna hook her on a hook near the totem because I know everyone is trying their hardest to get rid of this totem. Now, luckily for me, there is no way she can do the totem before I hook this girl. So I'm gonna go over here. She's off the totem. Sadly, though, I have to hook this girl near my totem. And because I hooked her near the totem, that means that the drone's gonna go away. Now, luckily, Kate is far away. At this point of the game, I know that, like, the totem is gonna go away. They're probably gonna be smart enough to get rid of the totem before hooking her, if they were smart. So because of that reason, I'm gonna sit right here and wait. I'm gonna wait for them to go, back to her. But I'm also oblivious. I'm untouchable because of the fact that I have, this thing. I see Kit on my totem, and luckily for me, she sees me and she decides to not be on the totem. That's why I sat right there. Normally, I don't like this camp hooks, but in this situation, I have to hook someone right here. So I know they're gonna try and do the totem first, then unhook. That's a really smart play. So because of that reason, I'm like, okay, no, you're gonna trade to trade. I don't care. So because of that reason, I'm gonna go back towards the totem to make sure no one's on it. And then I'm going to go over here towards this generator because I know someone's on this faraway gen. And at this point, I just kind of gave in. I said, you know, it's fine. Y'all can have the totem. I don't care. So I put a drone right here. I know someone's on that totem, and they're gonna destroy it. He's gonna go towards that drone, and the generator, and he's gonna probably get oblivious and also be exposed. So I have to pick between killing the guy who's gonna be exposed or going to protect the totem. Sadly, I picked the better option, honestly. He's gonna immediately drop this pallet. I need to break this pallet, but I choose not to for some reason. I'm thinking I can loop this pallet and mind game him, but sadly I cannot. But luckily for me, he is bad, and he accidentally runs towards me because being exposed and also being oblivious makes it hard to tell where Scrimmage is coming from. So I'm hooking right here. Now at this point, I should have broke that pallet. But for some reason, I did not break the pallet, and that's going to bite me in the butt later on, as you'll see. But I'm going to go back over here, and this is a pretty good game so far, actually, because they're doing a lot, but at the same time, I'm doing more. I'm able to stop them from doing everything, basically. Sadly, my drone that's in the basement is gone. I don't remember getting rid of that, but apparently it's gone. So I'm going to get rid of that one, put the drone back. I know they're over here, so I'm going to kick this gen. And now I'm uncuttable. And I'm gonna go after the girl who I just saw with the blood on her. So I know she's bleeding. I know she's injured. So it has to be Young Jun Lee. She's gonna go towards the main chat. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks for me. So I decided to ignore her, and I decided to go after the guys who actually just got unhooked because there's gonna be two people over there. It makes more sense to go after the two people than to go after the one person. But if you know, I don't have any, I don't have Oblivious anymore. So sadly, I have to go after this Kate because this Kate is what's it called, annoying. So I'm going after Kate, but then I hit this guy. I'm like, okay, you're dead on hook. I'm going after you. So I'll go after him, but again, I should have brought that pallet because I brought the pallet, then I would have been in a better spot. But I didn't break the pallet. I'm trying to mind game here, and this is the part of the game where I feel like I could have played much better, and I was stupid. So I want to down this person and get him out of the game because I know that he's dead on hook. I knew he had dead hard, but I hit him anyway. I don't know if that was dead hard, I was off the record, but luckily for me, I was able to down him, and we're gonna hook him immediately. But sadly, he has the Sizer Strike, so I'm like, okay. And then I have to go trade him again. So I'm wondering where he went, and I'm like, well, I know you're dead on hook, so I'm gonna go after you. And I was gonna go after the girl, Yoongjin Lee, who's at the pallet. I'm at the pallet, the gym. So I realized I can get a free down, because I know she's over there, and she's injured. Now, sadly, she loops this window, and she's doing really pretty well, actually. I think she had balance landing, not balance landing. She had quick and quiet, so she vaulted it, and I didn't hear her. So I was like, well, there goes that chase. So now I'm wondering, should I stay in this drone and just wait and become untouchable until she comes back, or should I just chase this girl? So I decided to chase her. She can go towards the what's it called? The shack. I know she's gonna try and vault this pallet, this window, but sadly, she doesn't vault the window. Instead, what happens is Kate goes towards the Jin, but I know she's gonna go towards the Jin, so I'm gonna kick it, and now I'm untouchable. I know Kate is gonna try and come back, so I'm mentally prepared to see her. I'm gonna try and intercept her when she comes back. And there's Yoongjin Lee, and then she's oblivious, and now she's also exposed, which doesn't really matter because she's already injured. Like usual, for some reason, Yoongjin Lee's like, I'm running towards the edge of the map. So I'm gonna down her. I believe she's not even dead on hook, so I'm not gonna hook her. Mainly because I want to make sure I can stay untouchable, so I'm gonna try and go back. And I know that this girl is gonna try and touch that Jin. Now, luckily for me, she did not touch the Jin because I was able to stop her. So I should probably go back and hook Yoongjin Lee, but instead I decided to go after Kate for some reason. This is why I'm talking about when I say I misplayed in this game. I probably should have just went after Yoongjin Lee and hooked her. I'm pretty sure she's dead on hook, so I don't know why I didn't kill her. But instead of me, I said I left her on the hook, and I go after Boy. I know he has sprint burst, so I'm gonna go after him. And then I told myself I need to break this pallet, but I didn't break the pallet for some reason. I can see where he is, but for some reason I decided to not break the pallet. And I'm gonna vault this window, and I have this really, really annoying loop where if I would have broke this pallet, this loop would have been way worse. And he moves so fast, I'm unable to hit him. And then I went the wrong way, so now I have to try and mind game this pallet, which again I could have broke, and for some reason I didn't break it. So now I'm mind gaming this pallet, pick up Yoongjin Lee off the ground. So now I'm in a really bad position. I thought he's gonna vault the pallet, but he doesn't vault the pallet. Instead he goes towards the window, and I'm unable to hit him because of the window vault. So I'm like, huh. So I'm gonna go back over here. And again, all of this would have been fixed if I would have broke this pallet. But I'm gonna try mining the pallet again, but he's smart and he's not going to vault it. I get rid of this drone so I can put the drone up here so I can see where he is. And then I see where he is, I can see that where he's going, and I can try and mind game him. But sadly, again, he's vaulted the window of the pallet again. So I'm trying to wait for him to vault it, he vaults it again. Then they complete a gen, all because I decided to not break this pallet for some reason. And then he vaulted again, and I'm like, I give up at this point. And again, then I finally able to down him. But that was a 2-minute chase where all I had to do was break the pallet. First thing, I should have hooked Yoongjin Lee. That was my first mistake. If I would have hooked her, I'm pretty sure she'd been dead on hook, and I would have won. Then I should have broke that pallet. This is what I'm talking about when I say I'm a good score merchant. I just make dumb mistakes. That dumb mistake I made was, for some reason, I decided to not break pallets that I know I can't win them. So, and I don't know why. The reason why I do it is I feel like I can just mind game the person. Because sometimes not breaking a pallet is a good thing because you can just mind game the person who's on the pallet and then get them to vault it and then hit them on the other side. And sometimes pallets are just so good where even if you decide to not break it, they will just continue to use it. And that was one of those pallets where they kept continuously using it. So even though I know I could have won, I was just dumb and I chose to be stupid. But in the future, I learned from my mistakes, and I'm gonna break the pallets that I know are just really, really bad, or I'm gonna use Desolation so it automatically breaks for me. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Try to put a really long video, 40-minute video, you know, it's fine. But I knew he had Off the Record, and then he had Decided Strike, and he had Dead Hard, so I was like, well, I'm not gonna be able to chase this guy. But he didn't have made for this. He had Spin Burst. And I knew he didn't have made for this. You can't use made for this and Spin Burst because you'll be exhausted, and made for this doesn't work if you're exhausted. So, but that was a really interesting build. The whole point of the build was to make survivors oblivious and also make survivors and make myself unattainable so we can down them instantly with our Dry Hope. And I think I really enjoyed this build, and I recommend everyone using it who is watching this video and uses it for merchant. But like I said, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video. Have a nice day.